Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We're here for another episode of Niall's Thoughts. And today we're going to talk about Dean Smith and can he keep Norwich in the Premier League? Now, I'm a firm believer that I think he can. I think I rate this Norwich side. I really do. We all know that I rate Brandon Williams a lot. I think he's United's best fullback, probably. And he's currently on loan at Norwich. I think he's got the belief, the tenacity, the desire, and the work ethic that you need in a team that's currently in a fight. You need someone who can fight. Brandon Williams has proven on many occasions, whether that be against Norwich, whether that be against Brighton, Chelsea, he's up for a fight. This lad is up for a fight. And I think you add that in with the likes of the experience of Grant Hanley, then you've got Ben Gibson, Max Aarons, who have all been through this. You're adding a really key component, a bit of fight, a bit of, I'm going to get in your face. I'm not afraid of you. And I think that's really helped Norwich's backline. I think Billy Gilmore brings a bit more of a technical aspect. I don't think he's necessarily up for a fight, but I think he's got that ability on the ball to create something and to do quite a good job in that midfield. And again, I think it adds something a little different to what Norwich have had or have got. Add that in with the few Scottish players that also play for Norwich. It probably settles him in quite well. You think he plays alongside McLean. And I really do think that they've got a lot of oomph about them. The one player who hasn't been getting game time and who does look like he's going to be leaving Norwich is Todd Cantwell. And the last time Norwich were in the Premier League, Todd Cantwell was the one everyone was talking about. It was him, Max Aarons. It was like, boys, they're going to start smashing it. And for me, Todd this season has barely played. I apparently there is extenuating circumstances for this, but Norwich are doing all this without one of their best players, who is Todd Cantwell. I have liked this Norwich team, and what I think Dean adds that Daniel Farke didn't is Dean knows the league very well, right? He's been with Villa. He did a good job with Villa until obviously the end of this season, really, until it finished this season, and he was ultimately sacked. And a lot of people are like, well, can Dean do it without Grealish? Because that has always been the thing. Well, Dean's good, but he's always had Jack Grealish with him, at Villa. Everyone's like, oh, Villa got promoted because of Jack Grealish, or Villa stayed in the league because of Jack Grealish. And whilst I'm not saying that Jack Grealish didn't do anything, I think that's quite disrespectful to Dean Smith and to the other 10 players that played for Aston Villa. Of course, it's not been great, in terms of it's not all been rosy, but he has got to have that respect that he did a very good job. He obviously was at Brentford. He's been at Walsall. This guy knows the leagues, right? He knows the lower leagues. He knows the Premier League. He's the best manager to have for Norwich, because if you go down, I think Dean can get this team back up straight away. They won't lose too many of their players. They may lose some. Brandon obviously will go back to Manchester United, but we don't know the future of that. Billy Gilmore will obviously go back to Chelsea, but again, we don't know the future of that. They might send him back there on loan. I doubt it, but Norwich might even try and buy Brandon Williams. You never know. So there's lots of ifs and buts, but the core, obviously, Max Aarons will get spoken about. He might leave. He might go to United. He may go wherever. But you have to be realistic this season. These players know what it takes to keep them in the league. I think Max Aarons is a fantastic right back. I think Brandon Williams is a brilliant left back. I think they've got a strong defensive unit. And the one thing that you need when you're in a relegation fight is a strong defence. You do need a strong defence. And whilst, of course, you'll say, but they've conceded lots of goals. And admittedly, that Arsenal game, they did concede an awful lot of goals. But most games under Dean Smith's tenure, they haven't been battered. They haven't rolled over, apart from the Arsenal game that I can think. A lot of the crap that Dean Smith's having to try and deal with is Daniel Farke, who lost, 7-0 to Chelsea and continued to get absolutely battered everywhere they went. And I think the telling part is you look at the game back at Carrow Road at the start of the season, starting the season. And it was Daniel Farke in charge, and Norwich looked absolutely pathetic. They looked poor, and it didn't really work out for them. You fast forward a little while, Daniel Farke's gone, Dean Smith's come in. Wolves look very, not Wolves, Norwich look very strong defensively. They're hitting on the counter. I suppose the one thing, the issue for Norwich is scoring goals. I think, the back line is fine. I think, of course, they will concede goals, but I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as it was. And I think Dean Smith's also improved Brandon Williams to a level where Brandon is Norwich is arguably one of their most important players. So clearly you can see that the work on the training pitch has been good. Now, going forward has been a problem. Now, they've got a few good talents. Josh Sargent is a talent, just never been unlocked. According to RJ, Adamida is a brilliant young player who's got great potential. And then you've got Timo Pukki, who just hasn't hit it at all. He does very well in the Championship, but when it comes to the Premier League, always struggles. So they need to start getting goals. They scored obviously 3 against Watford, and it's those games that are important, and I'll explain why in a moment. But getting goals is going to be important. If you can get a tune out of Josh Sargent, Adamida, Timo Pukki, Plachata when he plays, then I think you will definitely stay up. And I think I don't think it's quite the curtains for Norwich. Now, of course, this all really depends on what Newcastle do. Newcastle, for me, haven't bought the players that's needed. I mean, Chris Wood I don't even know what that buy was. It shows. It's symbolic for a club and owners that have come in and haven't put the right things in place yet. That buy was an absolute joke. It was a joke. He scored 3 goals for Burnley. Now, I'm not saying that because he scored 3 for Burnley, that should be why he's crap. But, he's not the player that I think will keep Newcastle up. I don't think he fits. I mean, you've gone from Callum Wilson to Chris Wood, and the level drop is humongous. So it does show that it's a club that haven't got the right systems in place to get the right players. Kieran Trippier was a good buy, but you're going to need a lot more than just Kieran Trippier. I think you need a centre-back. You need probably a central midfielder or an attacking central midfielder. And I actually still think they need another striker. I don't think Chris Wood's going to actually get near enough goals for them. So I suppose you've got all of these issues at Newcastle. Burnley, for me, I think are down and out. I really can't see Burnley staying up. Not only the fact that they've got to play like 59 games in 4 months, or God knows what it is, slight exaggeration there. They've got an awful lot of games to play. They've lost Chris Wood. I mean, I just cannot see Burnley staying up. A great result against Arsenal. They normally do quite well against Arsenal, so I'm not taking that as much of a gospel. I think Burnley will stay down. I think they'll go down. Watford, I do worry for Watford. I think they've got a few issues that they need to sort out. And I know people are saying Claudio Ranieri will be sacked by the end of the season. I think that would just be absolutely class A bullshit. But it is something that Watford are always up for doing. But yes, I think this relegation battle, just like the top 4 fight in the Premier League, is certainly going to be one that I think we should keep our eyes on. I think it's going to be a great little fight. And certainly we'll see who can stay up. But I think Norwich, I think they'll do all right. I think they could stay up. I think if you are asking me who were to go down, I'd say Burnley, Newcastle, Watford. That would be my 3. I think out of all of them, Norwich at the most stable. The management looks the most adapt to deal with it. Obviously, Sean Dyche is a very good manager, but he hasn't got the resources. I think when you look at resources plus manager plus everything, I think that Norwich and Dean Smith are the best outfit to stay up, because Eddie Howe, I don't think, has got it in for a relegation fight. We saw that with Bournemouth, took them down. Ranieri, yeah, maybe, but I don't really see it working too well. And Burnley, who have got the manager to stay up but haven't got the resources, the players. So it's going to be a really exciting little fight, and I can't wait to keep my eyes on it. But Guys, that was everything. We'll be back for the weekly review show tonight. Got some great guests coming on for you there. Before you do go, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and please leave your comments in the comment section down below, because I'd love to hear what you guys think about this. But until next time, thanks for watching and peace out.